It was 3 years ago when Donald Trump appeared on SNL as himself that they predicted what his White House might look like in 2018.
Jimmy, how's the economy?
Amazing, sir. In the words of our new national anthem, it's huge. After your tough negotiations with China, you are killing them on trade. They're now borrowing money from us. I have no idea how you did it, sir.
Well, you know what? I don't have to get specific. With me, it's just works. You know, it's magic.
That was a joke, and China's not exactly borrowing yet, but there are a lot of numbers showing that Trump's economy doesn't work for all Americans yet. Of course, Trump campaigned on being a populist, but he didn't quite grasp the word, calling himself a popularist. A new NBC poll shows that the economy and reducing the influence of special interests actually top the list for the most important issues among voters in the midterms right now. When it comes to which party they trust on the economy, look at this. Voters choosing Republicans by a slight edge. So how can liberals invoke the importance of the economy and true populism and actually get Democrats behind it? Well, my next guest, Ralph Nader, has a whole lot of ideas in his new book, To the Ramparts, How Bush and Obama Paved the Way for the Trump Presidency and Why It Isn't Too Late to Reverse Course. The book argues in part these problems are bigger than Trump because corporate money has taken over both parties, a point that Ralph, the consumer advocate, was making all the way back in the 1970s.
The issue basically now is whether we can build up enough democratic power outside of government in order to permit increasingly those inside of government to uphold their oath of office and perform in the public interest.
You are nothing if not consistent. What is new, though, that you want to get across in the book?
That the Democratic Party can't defend the country against the worst Republican Party in history. And this is a party, Republican Party, on the record, voting against children, voting against women, voting against clean air, voting against clean water. If you can't landslide that kind of party all the way down to the city council, from Congress to city council, you better look in the mirror, and the Democratic Party better look in the mirror. We're about a month away from the election, and they talk about a blue wave. You got to have wind to get a blue wave. The wind comes from the people believing that you stand for something. They haven't answered the question, what does the Democratic Party stand for? And I think if they make a big issue out of raising the minimum wage, and they should get in front of the Capitol steps, all the Democrats led by Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, and say, we are going to push for a livable wage. It's long overdue, and the guys at the top are running away with the bank. You know, the Democrats talk about voter suppression, and that's real. Purging voters, high complex IDs, and fooling around with registration dates. But they're not really pushing for a great get out the vote. There are 125 million people who are eligible to vote will not vote in November. That's a lot of votes.
How do you compare that to two parties that have gotten very involved in the politics of personality, which Barack Obama benefited from but ultimately warned against? Take a look at Obama on that.
You cannot sit back and wait for a savior. You can't opt out because you don't feel sufficiently inspired by this or that particular candidate. This is not a rock concert. This is not Coachella.
Is that an important message for Obama to deliver?
Oh, it's very important because the Democrats are falling into the trap of Trump. That's, you know, let's run against Trump. Well, you couldn't have a president easier to run against, but that doesn't put bread on the table. They have got to go down where people are working, living, and raising their families. They are going to blow the next month's election if they continue business as usual. And the Democratic National Committee, headed by Mr. Perez, who hasn't returned my call for over a year, I have some suggestions for him.
Why do you think he's not calling you back?
Because they don't want to hear from the civic community. They just hear from their political consultants and all the millions of dollars that are put in insipid TV ads because they get a 15% cut.
It also raises the question, have you tried texting him?
We have emailed them, yes, and we have text. We've done everything.
When you're looking at the next election, then you see Mike Bloomberg now re-registering as a Democrat. I imagine you view him as a classic corporate politician. He's moving parties based on where he may have a political opportunity. Do you think it would be bad for the Democrats to have Mike Bloomberg run or become the nominee?
No.
What about Wall Street?
Wall Street is his weakness. He's for corporate welfare. On the other hand, he's not your routine Wall Street guy. He's an entrepreneur, and he thinks for himself. I think he could shake up the Democrat Party. I think, because I've known him and talked with him, I think he rues the day that he didn't run 4 years ago.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.